This is part of the mental gymnastics and the psychological warfare that you have to endure when you are with the nice guy or the good guy, or he's a good man, Savannah. This is still violence. And this is a lot of the problem with when we talk about IPV and DV, is that people don't view emotional, spiritual, financial abuse as abuse. And so while the man that you're in a relationship with, while he may not try to physically harm you or like put his hands on you or unalive you, he is still engaging in a level of violence that is going to negatively impact you for forever, basically forever. Because with the good guys and the nice guys, they understand that they're men. And so they're always engaging in the relationship with that understanding and with the latent threat of violence always around you, because they could be bigger than you. But even so, there's an understanding that, this is a man. And so if he wanted to, if he's so chosen, if he's so desired, that he would put his hands on you and he would physically harm you. And so they control and manipulate the energetics of the relationship such that you're always hyper aware that even though he's not yelling and screaming at me, even though he's not putting his hands on me, even though he's not doing any of those physical acts, I still understand that he is capable of that, because they have such a simmering rage that reveals itself from time to time. They show that they have the capacity for that violence in moments, in instances where that mask will slip, where they ever so often lose their ability to control themselves or to fully mask in a situation, when they feel like so out of control, like all of their tricks are no longer working, and they'll start to devolve or escalate. So in the true crime space, like forensic psychologists will refer to this as escalating, because the perp realizes that, the walls are closing in on them and they're not going to be able to continue to get away with the things that they used to get away with. And so they become like desperate. And once their tricks, their good guy or nice guy tricks no longer work on you, they're going to start escalating the type of violence they use to control you. Because all of this is about control. And that is why I speak so much and so outwardly and so openly about women understanding the multidimensionality of our beings and who we are, because so often in the patriarchy and capitalism, there's so much focus on the physical form of humans, on being productive, on the labor, on the work that you're doing with your physical hands and body. But you don't just exist as a physical body. You're an energetic being. You are a mental, psychological being. You have an emotional body. You have a spiritual body. You have a financial identity. And so all of these other ways and all of these other parts of you can be harmed and can be unalived and can be in a way taken from you. So while you may not lose your physical life, you could lose your emotional vibrance. You could lose your spiritual vibrance. You could lose your energetic vibrance. And that is the danger of the nice guy and the good guy, is that their outward charm and their performance will disarm you such that you won't be able to protect yourself from the violence that you're going to endure. That the violence, it's going to come. It's inevitable with these guys. And a lot of them, like I said, are financially abusive. We'll talk about, because in the community that I'm from and that I was raised in, there is an archetype of the men as so-called Pookies and Ray Rays, who are criminals and they run the streets and they do this and that. We won't talk about them. We'll talk about the men who are professionals, whether they are tradesmen, whether they are college educated and they have degrees, or they're white collar workers or they're blue collar workers. Like, we'll just talk about them in that way. So we're talking about Pookies and Ray Rays, white collar, blue collar, whatever. The white collar, blue collar men, they make a living and can support themselves and can support you, but they will control and manipulate you through finances, whether you work or not. They'll make sure that they hoard all their money and resources to themselves so that you have to depend on them, but also so that you can't ever be in a situation where you can take care of yourself or be able to leave them. You'll need to depend on them for some sort of sustenance and survival, and that's abusive. That's controlling. That should not be a part of the relationship. But nice guys and good guys try to posture and perform themselves as a provider when really they're just being abusive. They're controlling the money, and they're controlling you and your livelihood through controlling the money. And so when it comes to this idea of like, oh, nice guys and good guys aren't performing femicide, which is the term used to define the unaliving or the homicides of the feminine, of women, of femmes. Yeah, he might not take your physical life, but he will take life from you emotionally, spiritually, energetically, financially, psychologically, physiologically. He'll throw off your bodies. He will activate your nervous system in such a way that your physiology will be altered. And for me personally, I can say it is the trauma of the betrayal, of trusting and believing in the identity and in the acts and in the image that this person projected out into the world of who they are, only to find out that it was a lie. Only to uncover the truth of who they really are. That betrayal trauma, that is something that you can get past, but it's something that you're going to have to come to terms with and acknowledge and heal, and then you have to grieve. So whenever you have to grieve, there is a loss involved. And that loss can be just as harmful to the individual in the relationship and to the people around them. If you have children, the betrayal and the lying and the nice guy acting, the nice guy portrayal is going to negatively impact them too. Because the children are going to get to a point in that relationship where they're going to need the care and the love and support and nurturing of that other parent. And that other parent is empty. They don't have it to give. It's nothing that they can do for them outside of these empty acts that at any time can be taken away or can be uncovered and revealed, the much more sinister underlying nature of the true evil that person is. Because what they're doing is really evil, is demonic. And I'm tired of women being made to feel like, oh, you're just choosing wrong, or like you need to pick better. The onus being placed on women to unmask these individuals. And while you do have a personal responsibility to ensure your own safety in these relationships, there needs to be a larger cultural conversation and understanding about how sociopathic, how psychopathic, how narcissistic, how manipulative, how downright evil and demonic these men are out here who are self-proclaimed or so-called or looked at as nice guys, good men. They are some of the worst human beings that you will ever meet in your life. And they will leave you broken, but not destroyed. And I think that is the real frustration that comes in, is that after you uncover who they are and you unmask who they are and you start engaging and treating them in that way, they want to destroy you. But they can't. They've only destroyed themselves.